Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about the one thing that's on everyone's mind today, love. It's 10 p.m. and I decided, why the heck not? I'm a lover girl at heart, so this is my late night text message to you, if you will. I just hope you get some kind of inspiration from this to be a little less in your feelings this Valentine's Day. Because your life journey is really about you and no one else. So stop worrying about that stupid boy who won't text you back and start listening. Personal relationships are a very big mirror of what's going on inside of us. And everyone who we are deeply connected with, then they are reflecting something that's within ourselves. The relationships that you have will keep mirroring those things back to you until you learn the lesson. I'm reading a book right now. I don't think I have it at hand, but it's called The Divine Matrix by Greg Braden. And that also talks about like how other people's relationships with us mirror ourselves. It's one of the like keys in the book. But yeah, the relationships you have in your life are a direct reflection of what is going on inside of you. And I have found that in my past relationships, these people have heavily mirrored back to me my own inner insecurities, fears, patterns, everything. And I didn't notice it until I started questioning these relationships. So in my first relationship, there was a situation where we were both very young and we were returning each other's things. He came to my place with his friends and I went outside and I was heavily like tearing up and I was so emotional, and he didn't have a care in the world. Like, you guys, this dude just showed up with his friends at my house and he was like, all right, just hand me the things. I don't really care, but I mean, fine, I'll take them. And that hurt me so deeply and I was so devastated. Like, why? I was like thinking to myself, like, why don't you care? I was very young, of course. Like, again, I would just want to like say that I was super young, but I was like, why don't you care more? Why don't you show your feelings? Like, I'm so hurt by breaking up, even though I was the one to break up with him. I think I was still hurt. That doesn't mean that you're not hurt. You still have the right to be hurt if you break up with people. And I was just so devastated. But at the same time, I didn't want to be with him, but it was still my first heartbreak, you know? And he just didn't give a single care in the world. Literally, this guy was like, hello, showing up, taking my things, and then going, bye. And I was just there like, oh my God, this dude never cared about me. Like, he never cared. Like, I was like, okay, this dude obviously never cared about me. And that was my conclusion from the situation. When in reality, all he did was show me how much, or let's say how less, I think that's the word, how less I valued myself. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's late at night, guys. And I just finished like a day of doing work, so bear with me. Anyways, I was like, okay, this dude just could not care less, you know? And that showed me that I didn't care about me. I didn't care about myself because I was willing to stand there with a person who I had just broken up with and still kind of beg for their love. That shows a lot about your own self-respect. Now, I know that some of us are not dating for love, and that's fine. But this is just my personal view. I am only dating to marry. Like, especially now, I think that's kind of the main reason why to go into a relationship with anyone, to create a lifelong lasting partnership. And you cannot build that partnership if you don't have a good partnership with yourself, if you don't value yourself. And by showing someone that you're like willing to run after them, do everything to get their attention, you're just feeding their ego and showing yourself like how much respect you have for yourself. And in that situation, you're always going to be the one that's going to get hurt because you're not respecting yourself. All you want really from this person is not them to show their emotions or anything. You just want their respect towards the situation. And if you have a situation like that, or if you've recently broken up and had a similar situation, and the person seems to just not have a care in the world, then that's actually you being triggered by something, and you have to learn what that trigger is, what that means to you. Because for me, it was just a lack of self-respect at that time, because I was so willing to like give up my decision of not wanting to be with this person in order to have their attention. And through that, I learned that the best thing you can do for yourself is just give yourself the respect that you deserve. Like, give yourself the respect that you deserve, and you don't have to beg for the right person to love you. They will love you anyways. Like recently, I was approached by someone, and you know what I did for them to approach me? I did nothing. I was doing absolutely nothing. I was just standing there, and they came up to me. They were like, wow, like, you know, you seem like a really interesting person, whatever. And that's kind of how you have to think about it. Like, the right people will be attracted to you. They will be like magnets towards you. You will like click, and it won't be the situation of you like trying to click with them. Because if you have two magnets that are the same, then they will just be like, they won't go together. They will be like pulled apart. No matter how much you try to force those magnets together, you actually won't be able to put them together because they don't belong together. And you cannot force relationships with other people, or respect from other people, or admiration or love from other people like that by chasing after them, because they will just be the magnet that's like incompatible with you. They will not be your like perfect match. So why should you run after them, you know? I think as women, it's very empowering to do the first move, take that first step, be the person to like reach out and show your interest. And that's like fine if that suits you. But for me personally, I'm a very open person. I'm a very sociable person. I'm like energetically open to meeting new people and having interesting conversations with people, because I want to learn more about the world. I'm always, literally always open to a good conversation. And my energy is already showing that. So if someone is not attracted to that energy, then they're just not the right person for me, you know? I just broke up with someone a few months ago, I think, yeah, quite some time ago now. But I wanted to like really step on this journey of being my true self and just going all in. You know, I'm just putting all the bets on me and seeing what happens. And we had a very beautiful relationship in some terms, and in some other ways, there were things we both have to work on internally for ourselves. But we have connected a few times after that breakup, and every time it hurts even more. And it's not because I like want them back, it's not because I want to be with them, but it's because my brain associates them with very positive feelings and emotions, and then you kind of get this nostalgic feeling, you know. Sometimes you do get in your feels with the nostalgic feeling, and like, I know this is probably a universal experience for the people who are like me, and probably not a universal experience for the people who are like kind of more cold, you know, more the avoidant style. They still have these feelings, but they don't like get so heavily triggered with these feelings. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, oh my God, feelings, nostalgia, I can feel them all. Now I'm just sitting alone in my apartment and crying. And if I could give one piece of advice for someone going through a breakup right now, even if it ended on good terms, just wish them well from afar. Just wish them well from afar. Like, loving someone very deeply is a personal and loaded and heavy and emotional experience. And it's so beautiful that we as people get to experience love. And I'm still a lover girl, don't get me wrong, but I'm just taking that step back right now because I know that it's one of my patterns to kind of go back into that cycle, or even go back into that cycle with a new person who has the same qualities. So for me, it's very important not to get in touch with this person, not to connect to them at all, just stay in my own lane. And I would suggest you do the same if you have someone you're really missing and wanting to reach out to them. Then for your own peace of mind, don't. Even if it's on Valentine's Day, even if you're like, oh my God, I really love this person, we had such a beautiful relationship together, I like respect them so much, and yeah, they were just a really great person. I hope that they achieve everything that they wanted to achieve in life, you know, that type of feeling. But at this point in my personal life journey, the journey of life, the life that we are living, I have to go through it alone, and I cannot go back to those old patterns. I cannot start depending on them. I cannot text them. I cannot call them. I cannot meet up with them, because that will just hurt me and bring me a few steps back on my journey. Because it feels like you're going 5 steps forward and then you're taking like 2 steps back. It's not the whole way back, but it's a few steps back. And those like few steps back still matter, because you're going to have to take them again to move forward. So why would you hinder your own development? And instead of like reaching out to them, maybe reach out to someone who you love, like your friend, family. If you don't have anyone, then just journal it out. I know I say this, like journaling is the answer to everything and walking is the answer to everything and fresh air, but it's true. That's why I'm saying it in every one of my videos, because maybe someone has just discovered my channel. This is the first video they hear and they haven't heard me talk about it. So really, if you don't have anyone besides your friends or family to talk to, then just journal it out. Like, I have written so many love letters to so many people that I have never sent. And I have never given them, nothing. I write these letters to get the emotions and feelings out of my head, because if you're thinking about them, then you're manifesting this person back into your life in some kind of way. You're still holding on to their energy. You're still like in that phase. And if you don't want that, or you know that even if you do want that temporarily right now in this moment, but in the long term, you don't want that at this point in your life, then just pull back your energy by journaling it out, or going for a walk, or working out, whatever is the way for you to like express that. Also for me, it's like painting. That's like, painting is powerful, but whatever it is that makes you feel good, just do that instead. So this Valentine's Day, instead of texting your ex-partner, just write them a love letter and never give it to them, and like burn it or something. That's a very powerful thing to do as well, like burn the love letter afterwards, or rip it apart or throw it away, because you don't have to be nostalgic about it. And you know that as you evolve as a person, then your own standards get higher, your energy gets higher, you raise your vibration, and you attract more healthy and positive patterns and people into your life. And the next people will also teach you something about yourself, but it's going to be a new lesson. So why would you be stuck on level 1, learning the same lesson over and over and over again, when you could like skyrocket to level 5 and learn a completely new lesson and be like, oh my God, I didn't know this world existed, you know? So just think about that. Think about it like leveling up in life. The next level is already waiting for you. You just have to step out of that cycle of that level 1 energy and step into like level 2, 3, 4, or 5, or whatever like level you're on right now. And I want to talk about going on solo dates and doing things for yourself, because on Valentine's Day, even I get a little bit like, you know, I get in my feels, because this episode is about being in your feels. So I'm in my feels sometimes, and I was at work and we have like these cute Valentine's Day things going on, and it's super sweet. It's not about even romantic relationships, it's about like just friendships or like whatever else relationships you have in your life. But it still gets you in your feels sometimes, you know? You're like, because I'm the type of person who just loves love. I just love love, okay? And I'm okay with that because I can find love in anything. I can find love in my friendships. I can find love in my family relationships. Now that I have learned to respect myself more and really done that deep inner work about reflecting on my past relationships, understanding the triggers, understanding the traumas, and doing that difficult work that needs to be done in order for me to not act upon those traumas anymore, in order for me to break that trauma cycle. And now that I've done that, it's so much easier for me to find love in different situations. For example, I was going to work today and I was on the bus, and a woman wanted to get past me. So I kind of, let her go past, and she was super serious and like, she seemed like she was in a bad mood. And then I just looked at her and I smiled. I was just looking at her like this. Like I was literally smiling. And she was like kind of still very serious, but she gave me a small smirk. So I was like, okay, like mission accomplished. And she stepped off the bus. And then we stared at each other again, or we had that long eye connection with her. And she just gave me the biggest smile ever and waved goodbye to me. And I know she was alone on that bus because like I saw her and we were like looking at each other the whole time. But I found so much love in that small moment of my day. It was like a micro moment of my whole day. But I still think about that because just giving her like that good energy allowed me to actually feel more love. Obviously, love is a very big term and it's more of like fulfillment or alignment or whatever you want to call it, but let's just umbrella it under love currently. And I was like, wow, I actually love other people. They're so interesting, and it just gave me this warm feeling in my heart. And I think we don't always have to define love as like you can only feel it towards that one person. I think we can all find small moments of love in our life, whether it's loving baking or loving doing workouts or loving journaling or loving drawing or loving painting or loving watching shows or loving doing the laundry. Whatever it is that makes you happy, you do it from a place of love, mainly towards yourself. Like you want to eat good food for yourself, so you love cooking because you want to cook, or you love your family, you want to show that love towards them through your cooking. Whatever it is, the love is such a big part of our lives, and you just have to find those small moments where you can feel it and not attach it to a certain person. And we always accept the love we think we deserve as well. That's like such a good quote, one of my favorite ones, because that's been me my whole life. I've always accepted the love I think I deserve, when in reality I deserve so much more. I just haven't given it to myself. Just go on that date alone and have a movie night, have a skincare night, do a self-care night with your friends or your girls or whatever. Just try to find that fulfillment and place of peace and love within yourself, because you know how much you are worth. You know deep down that you are so capable of love, and if you keep searching for it, then it's going to just run away because you're so desperately trying to achieve this thing. But if you just sit there and you're like, I know what I bring to the table, I know how much love I can give, I know how much I love me, my friends, my family, everything, I'm like so worthy of everything, then you don't have to look for it outside of yourself, because you already have it within yourself. Every person that we are connected with is a mirror for ourselves. They are a reflection of us. So they can only reflect back the things that are inside of you. And if you have that deep-rooted self-love within you, then people will reflect it back to you. And it doesn't always have to be romantical. Sometimes it can just be sweet, friendly, family related, whatever. And even with a stranger on the bus or on the street, like just giving that good energy, like the good energy exchange. Just think about that this Valentine's Day. You don't have to beg so hard for the love you think that you want, because in reality, if you have to beg for something, then that's not for you. I hope this video inspired someone to be more courageous in being themselves and being with themselves, and that being alone is not scary. It's the best thing you can do for yourself, because it shows you that you are reliable for yourself and you can love yourself. If you put that good energy towards yourself first, you will always attract those people who see the true value, but you will never attract the right people by chasing after them. And yeah, I just hope you were inspired to give yourself more love this Valentine's Day and not be so in your feelings about that one person, because truly you're the only person in your life that matters. I love you. Have an awesome Valentine's Day and see you Sunday.